all, welcome to my channel Programming with Vishnu. Today we are going to discuss the minimum and maximum element in array. We have to find out what is the minimum and maximum element in array. What is mean? It is mean by let's consider one array 2, 3, 1, 5, 4. This is what our array. We need to return which is the minimum element and the maximum element. So you have to return like 1 comma 5. This is what minimum and maximum element. Consider one more example 9, 10, 11, 6, sorry 8 comma 6. Okay, what is here? 11 is the biggest element, 6 is the smallest element. Suppose minus 1 is there, the minus is the smallest element. Okay, consider here minus 5, minus 6, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Which is the biggest element here? Minus 1 is the biggest element, minus 6 is the smallest element. You have to return minus 6 comma minus 1. This is what the question is. How we can solve is, there are two ways to solve here. Okay, one is by using inbuilt methods. First way is by using inbuilt methods. If you know time complexity, this will take big O of n log n, means more than big O of n time. Okay, the second way is by iterating the elements without using that, but with iterating elements, which will take big O of n time. Suppose if your interviewer is not specifying anything, suppose in the exam, if you are okay with the inbuilt, you can write. Suppose it is throwing you timeout error or like that, then you can use the second one. Suppose if your interviewer asks you to write a program for this question, first write this. If you ask, don't use inbuilt method, otherwise optimize that one, then you can use the second one. I will show you the two ways how to do the coding. Okay, first we'll understand what is the first way is. In the first way, how we are going to use inbuilt method means, suppose consider 2, 3, 1, 5, 4. This method is, this is the array. What we are going to do here, this is the way it is difficult. Suppose this is the array, if it is there like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what you will tell? Always the biggest element is the last element, smallest element is the first element. First element means 0, last element means length minus 1. You can tell easily. So what you are doing here, sorting. How to sort? There is a class in java.util package, arrays class. In that there is a method called sort method. If you provide your array here, it will sort your array from any order to the ascending order. This method will return you array in the form of ascending order. Okay, this is what method. It will make your array to ascending order. Okay, then what you can do, you can directly return 0, length minus 1, index values, so that it will be over. Now observe here, we'll do the coding. I have an array input, it will be like this. Now observe here, I'm going to arrays dot sort class, arrays class sort method, see java.util dot package, then I'm providing here array. So this array will get sorted. Now what I'm doing, I'm taking one new array to return, which is output array. Okay, in that what I am doing, directly I am keeping here ARR of 0th element is the minimum element, ARR of last element means ARR dot length minus 1 is the last element. Okay, observe here, sorry, this is the way. Now you need to return output array, because this is taking array as output. Now what how you are returning here, minimum comma maximum you are returning. Now observe here, we have here 2, 3, 1, 5, 4, 0, minus 1. Minus 1 is the smallest element, 5 is the biggest element. I mean minimum element and maximum element. Now observe when I run the program, see here minus 1 comma 5. This is the easiest way by using inbuilt methods. Okay, now we'll see another way of solving the problem. Now this is the one. So what is the second way? What is the second way? Observe. Now we have this array 2, 3, 1, 5, 4. Why we need to do the second way means, suppose here they are asking you to return the element. Okay, they are asking you to return the element. Suppose if they ask you to return the index of the element, suppose here the first one index means 0 1 2 3 4. If you want to return the index of an element, you have to return the second index and the third index you have to return. That time if you sort, what will happen? 1 2 3 4 5. What will happen? This is the 0th index, this is the 4th index. That time index will change, right? So that is also will be helpful for to understand that question. Also this method is helpful, and this is less time complexity and optimized solution. Observe what I am doing. First I am considering one variable int min equal to, I am considering the first element is the smallest element in array, and the second one is I am considering the second, I mean like maximum element is also first element only. Why we are considering here means, observe here, suppose in an array one element can be present, then what is the biggest element? This is the biggest element, this is the smallest element. That's why I am considering always the first element is the biggest and smallest element, because we don't know the length of the array. Okay, it can be dynamic input, right? So we don't know that. So I am considering first element is the biggest, first element is the smallest element of the array. Now what I am doing, I am iterating a loop. For loop I am writing for int I equal to 1, I less than, I am going up to the length I plus plus. Okay, now what we'll do here, we'll iterate from this element. Why? Because this is already we consider the biggest. So now what we have to do, from this to this I have to compare, from this to this I have to compare, this to this element I have to compare, here to here I need to compare. Okay, how we can compare? Observe. Suppose observe here clearly, we have a 2 3 1 5 4. Now the minimum element is 2, maximum element is 2. When you will tell a minimum element, how you can tell? Suppose if 2 is greater than 3, 2 is greater than 3, which is the minimum element? 2 is the minimum element. So no need of changing. Is 2 is greater than 3? No, false. Next, suppose if 2 is greater than 1, yes, this element is smaller element than the current minimum element. True. So what you will do? You will replace 2 with the 1. So what you have to do? You have to check our minimum element is greater than, our minimum element is greater than the present element. If it is true, then you have to replace minimum element with the present element. Minimum element is the present element, because we have to provide the least value. Suppose here see 2 is there, 1 is there, 2 is greater than 1, yes, then 2 is not smaller than of other element, 1 is the smallest element, so you are replacing it. In the same way for max less than the present element. Suppose observe here 2 is there, 2 is less than the 3, yes, whatever the considered value is less than the present value, so we are replacing 2 with the 3, max equal to 3. Next, 3 is less than 1, no, false. 3 is less than 5, true. So we are replacing max equal to 5. Next, 5 is less than 4, no, false. So max element is 5th, minimum element is the 1. This is the way we need to check. Now observe how to do the coding. Okay, I'm just commenting this code. Okay, now observe what I am doing. Initially what I am doing, this is the second procedure. First I am taking minimum element equal to ARR of 0, int max element equal to ARR of 0. Both elements I am considering the same. So what it will be there? Initially this is 2, this is also 2 initially. Okay, after that what we are doing? We are iterating a loop. From where we need to iterate? Not from the starting. Second index we have to iterate. Means second index means 0 1. That is the second index, not the 2. I equal to 1. I less than array dot length I plus plus. What you have to do? Just now we discuss. First we need to check Okay, we'll take in, this is not required, but if you want to understand, I'll just take int present element equal to ARR of I. Like this you can take, or directly you can compare. Okay, let me consider. Now what I am doing, if minimum element is greater than the present element, if minimum element is greater than the present element means the present element is smaller. Present, if this condition is become the true means the present element is smaller than the minimum element. So I am replacing the minimum value with the present element. Okay, suppose else if we need to check one more condition, right? Max, suppose if the maximum element is lesser than the present element, that means whatever we are considering the maximum element, that is not the maximum element, the present element is maximum element. So max equal to present element. Then you will get max and minimum values once this loop iteration done. Now observe here what I am doing. I am like same like I'm creating one in the output array. Okay, then I am returning minim comma max. Return output. Now observe. See, -1 comma 5. Suppose here I provided -6. Observe, -6 comma 5. Suppose here I provided -9. -9 comma 4. This is the way you need to find out minimum and maximum element in an array. Sometimes in the interviewer will ask only the minimum element. Write a program to find out the minimum element. Then what you'll do? Then you just remove this condition, max condition. Okay, then it will be minimum. Then return only the minimum element. Like here only return minimum element. That is the for minimum element. Suppose if the interviewer asks you for the maximum element, remove the minimum one and return the maximum. That's it. This is the way you can, it is considered 3 solutions. First one, if the interviewer asks you find out the maximum element in an array, you can find out only maximum element. Suppose if the interviewer asks you to find out the minimum element, you can remove the maximum conditions, find out the minimum. Suppose if he asks you to print both minimum and maximum, you can use this one. I hope you all understood. Thanks for watching.